Right, from presenter and host to moderator. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Okay, we're going to begin, but before we begin, I'm going to have to share the mic with you, Babis. Is that okay? Yes. Yeah, we're going to share together. Okay, perfect. And I'm going to get everyone to introduce themselves and who they are and what they do before we start. So let's start with you, Babis.
Yeah. My name is Babis Zelenitsas. I am from Greece, and I'm the technical director of Sharjah Football Club. Sharjah is a professional club that play in a professional league in UAE.
Hello everyone, my name is Osir Neto. I am from Atlético Paranaense, a club from Brazil. I have been working for the club for more than 20 years, made in 17 many different roles. And now I'm working as board assistant in terms of helping them with football issues.
Hello everyone, I'm Lulu He. I've been working at Ajax for 10 years now. And I was been in different departments, and now I'm working with our international football department, and I'm leading the global club network at Ajax.
Hello everyone, my name is Matsu. My team name is Gamba Osaka, which is belong to Japanese Premier League. I am the football director of Gamba Osaka, responsible for football side of things, from academy to top team. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Corné Groenendijk, a very Dutch name for a guy that's traveling a lot. I experience a lot of problems with my business cards, so we're all tagging now, so you can have my name with the Groenendijk, please, thank you very much. But some of my Brazilian friends, oh, top class, my name. I'm heading the football partnerships on a national and international level in Ajax Amsterdam, the biggest club in the... Nah, I'm a big fan of my club as well, yeah.
And rightly so, that they're very progressive, and we're going to get into that conversation today. Sorry, Corne, I can't do the...
Yeah, try.
Corne? I'll work on it. Let's start with Lulu. I just want you to kind of give an overview of what the Ajax Network Club is, and because it seems like quite an exclusive club, but can you give an overview of kind of what it is that you guys are doing?
Yeah, sure. And this network, the club network, is a relatively new concept, and because we saw the trend in the global market about the multi-club ownership, and of course we are not with the big capital which we can own the other clubs, but we do see the necessity that we do have the network through the globe, and that's how we started this club network in a global wise, and we identified the market and also our clubs with a lot of researchers and the visits and the contact, and then for now we are having our partners sitting here. I must say we missing one of our partners, Pachuca, and they were here actually the past 2 days with us, but they had to leave because they are playing the CONCACAF Champions Cup final on Saturday at their home against Columbus from MLS. So, and that's why they need a big match to preparation, and sorry they couldn't be here. And the rest of us, I must say it's not the end of this network. We are still having clubs in the pipeline, which we want to, in the future, we are expanding this network even more. Yeah.
Corne, what's the difference between...
Next soccer actually, the biggest stage.
I need to...
We keep going.
More and more. And I want to join the club as well, so hopefully I'll be a member soon. What's the difference between the multi-club model and what this is, this network club, the Ajax Network Club?
Yeah, this network is fully based on the youth development structure that our clubs have. So, not saying that other networks don't have that ambition to do it in a youth development network, but we are looking for clubs that are very focused on youth development as a core business. They are ambitious. We think that we are not the head coach of Pachuca, but we think that the Mexican, the final that they play on Saturday, they will have 6 or 7 players from the youth academy in the first team while entering into the final. So in our research, it's not necessarily the biggest clubs, or it is all clubs that are, like Lulu said, that are driven by very strong leadership, a leadership that is focused on football development, youth development, and it is also we want to be on a network. So we are good friends. We all visit each other in our homes. We are not business partners. We are friends that want to develop together. And I think that separates us a little bit from some of the other networks.
That is very important. Neto, why is it important that Ajax have come to you to join this network? What made you think, yes, this is something that I want to be a part of?
So Atletico has the mentality very similar than Ajax. What Ajax does in terms of Europe, we are trying to do in terms of Brazil. So we are not the richest one in Brazil. As we are not the richest one, we need to be smarter. Yeah. We cannot, waste money. So for us, develop players is very, very important. So being next to Ajax that has this culture of develop players, giving them minutes, giving them opportunities to play, and right after have the opportunity to sell for €1 million, is the same thing that we do there. So during this almost 30 years that this new board is taking the control of the club, Atlético Paranaense had a lot of very good transfers directly from Brazil to Europe. Just for you guys to have in mind, Fernandinho, that played a lot of time for Manchester City, is a former player of Atlético Paranaense. And right after spent more than, I believe, 15 years in Europe playing for Shakhtar in Manchester City, he decided to come back to Brazil and play for us again because we have this past with him. So he feel really at home there. So it's magical. We would like to have more this kind of things. And we do believe that we can develop the players better. That's why we are with Ajax, because we know that they have a lot of knowledge on this.
Babus, what is the positives to joining this network for you, from your club standpoint? Because there's multi-clubs here from multi-continents as well, from different continents around the world. What is the positives for you to joining the network?
First of all, I need to inform also the panel here about Sharjah. What this means, Sharjah?
Yes.
Because maybe the most of you know Dubai or Abu Dhabi. Sharjah is the third city with population in UAE, but is the most popular cultural city in UAE, with a great environment to study children. We have the better university in the UAE country. So for this reason, started the connection with Ajax. We are the first, I think, professional club that did agreement, special agreement with Ajax Amsterdam. Why? Because we believed that with this way, we would develop our children to create a sports mentality, not only football mentality, to influence their thinking of way about football. From the same moment, we believe that with procedure, knowledge, especially in football from Ajax, we influence our coaches to develop also the coaches. So it's not only a program only for our player, it's also for coaches, and especially for local coaches. As I mentioned before, we are the only UAE club that we use only local players, especially for under 17 and down. So we try to influence our children to learn and play better. So the positive things, of course, it will be more clear in more long-term plan. It's not in 1 day or in 2 days. So I hope, and especially now with the new network that open the space, especially from Brazil or the club or Caba from Japan or Pachuca, a huge name from Mexico, to influence also us with their knowledge.
Thank you very much. Matt, why is Ajax a good partner from your side and from your club?
We last several years we also looking for the looking for European club for the potential partner as a potential partner. Then we are our overseas strategy. In our overseas strategy, Ajax also looking for the Japanese team, then we match. Yeah. So because of we have the same philosophy about football, and especially youth development and talent identification. So Ajax has a big, deep knowledge about that. That's why would like to utilize that knowledge, and that helps us a lot. That's why, yeah.
Thank you, thank you. Now, Cornet and Lulu, I'm going to change up the format and be quite pressing on this, because this club seems, it's very progressive. It's very, very new, like you mentioned as well. It's kind of a new strategy here, having like your own network club. It feels like a private members club for certain clubs around the world. What is the criteria, if you're allowed to give it, of what you're looking for to be introduced to this team of people?
The criteria are, yes, we are willing to share. Yeah. Yes, the local kitchen must be very strong, and no, it's we do a lot of research. So we feel that in our position as one of the leading youth academies globally, that has been proven for many years, we also have a responsibility, and we also see how the world is getting smaller. It is not Amsterdam anymore or Netherlands anymore. The sport is a real global game, and we all need to adjust. And we feel there's so much talent development going on in the world, everybody with his own ambitions to create their own players. So from our research, we try to look for what is the new markets, where are things happening. For example, I want to congratulate clubs like Gamba Osaka, but also Japanese football market as a total. In 30 years of J-League, their achievements are incredible, and they've done a fantastic job in developing players. And we see Japanese players all over the world, and we also see that. And then we do research on, in the Japanese market, what would be a suitable partner for us. And then we look for who is driven by youth development. How is the ownership structure? Is it very stable, or is it changing a lot? Which we have to be a little bit careful in our club, because it's also changing some. We're a little bit under pressure sometimes on that part. But so leadership is a big thing, youth development strategy, but also, is there a long-term commitment? Do you want to be champion tomorrow, or is it your ambition to play the finals in your continent or country in 3 to 5 years from now? And how do you want to get there? And if I may, I can compliment Lulu also on this, her research and her knowledge on global football experience. We've traveled a lot in the last few years. SoccerX also. SoccerX China, were you there? No?
No, I wasn't, but hopefully I get the invite.
No.
The next one.
Yes, yeah. Then Bayern Munich outplayed us with all their big presence, and they were very good with the Champions League at that time. Okay, other story. Lulu is fantastic in doing the research, understanding, getting to know people. We know a lot of people through our international network, and we also have the position, we are a name still in global football, Ajax, so we also have the possibility to pick up the phone and call people and say, can we come by, talk to you, and share information. So it is not a ticking the boxes kind of formula. It is in-depth research on the league, on the club, ownership, and then travel to the place and get to know people and understand, can we be friends, or how? Yes, and it's a big thing for us. Are we on the same pathway? Is it something that we want to do together? And I think that's as open as it is.
Lulu, I don't know if you want to add.
Yeah, something to add, because in the past 2 days we had actually here, we organized the Club Network Summit with all of our partners. That's why Pachuca were also here. And in the first day, we had the whole afternoon, let all of our network club to introduce themselves. In the morning, Ajax introduced ourselves on the football philosophy, methodology, and also the way of for talent identification. And so in the afternoon, we gave the stage to our partners here to introduce themselves. So I think the one thing we can, which Cornel already mentioned, is a very stable governance and ownership for all of them. And Pachuca has a Pachuca group. They have few clubs they own, and besides that, they have university, hospitals, restaurants, and that's more than that. And Parnens as well. And Sharjah, of course, it's backed by a very committed ruler in the UAE. Gamba is owned by Panasonic, one of the biggest company in Japan. So all of them, we see they have sustainable financial mobility and stable governance. So that's very important for us to choose our partner as well.
Okay,
One of the most important elements.
Yeah, so I'm lucky enough to travel through the sport as well and work with like CONCACAF and CONMEBOL. But for the naive UK fan who hails up the Premier League, the question of is it Premier League teams? They got quite a stable governance as well. Or are you not looking? Are you doing something different and not looking at those sort of that league there, the Premier League, or are you looking at other countries and other continents and other leagues instead, or would you be open to say the Premier League, Championship, League One, League Two clubs? I have to ask.
I think, of course, it's possible. And for us, the criteria, the number one is, do they have the ambition to have also the best youth academy in the world? Let's achieve that together. And the second is also we consider a bit from the scouting department, scouting input, is that region we focus for talent identification. Those markets, for example, in Brazil, sometimes it's very complicated for us to understand how everything goes, which player, maybe they have 10 agents behind that. How can we ease that? But now we have Neto. So if we have questions, we just ask Neto. And the same with Japan, because it's a very different system. Because here we have club youth, club amateur club, club youth, and then goes to the professional. Yeah. But in Japan, there's high school, university. So like Mitoma from Brighton, he is actually from club youth, then he goes to university, then he back to the club, and then come to Europe. So it's very complicated for us to understand the whole picture, but it's good we have Gamba here so they can guide us. Okay, this is the Japanese football market. If you need talent, it's not only in the club, but they also look at the high schools. And it's not only for Ajax, but for example, in J-League, there are so many Brazilian players, so they can also talk to Neto. And in every year in Asian Champions League, I think Sharjah is also part of the Asian Champions League. So it's quite good to communicate with each other. What do you have, and how can we help each other? Okay,
I know a lot of the members here on the panel, they joined at different times to the network club. I know Lulu and Corne are here, but I'm going to ask you, how's your experience been? You can be honest to everyone here. How's your experience been since being in the network club?
You can be Dutch about it, so be as rude as you can, please.
I worked 3 years to Sharjah. At the same moment, we are 3 years with Ajax. I don't think that I need to say something else.
Oh,
so it's clear that in 3 years, I cooperate very, very well with Ajax. I feel second home here. By the way, my history with the club is a lot of years ago, so I follow the club before Cornet, I think, because I'm older, because I'm too much younger. But the main point for me is, as I mentioned, how we will take all this great knowledge to transfer to my club. Of course, is a key point for this network project. Each club, I speak for my club especially, we keep our identity. This is also a good point for this network. We don't want to take something that not adapt to our culture. Right. So of course, now we have new colleagues, new friends from Brazil. If you see our roster, most of the players are from Brazil. So this means that players from Brazil adapt very easy to UAE. But from the other side, as you mentioned, we are a team that play usually in Champions League from Asia Champions League. Last year, we evaluate from scouting point of view, Japanese champion. Why not clear, straight discussion with our partner? So for me, the future for my club is to be part for a longer, more time in the future with a network like this.
That was very nice, very kind. Neto, how's your experience been? And you can be like, it's good to be honest as to how it feels. It seems very good from what we just heard there from Babis. But how's your experience been since being in the network club?
So we start officially the partnership, if I'm not wrong, August last year. So I actually had that experience to be in Brazil with Corne, Bart, and some guys from scouting department in order to understand a little bit better how the things works there.
Yeah.
Because as Bobby said, we would like to keep our personality. But for sure, Ajax has a lot of knowledge in develop players. So there are a lot to us to learn regarding the methodology, some ideas, some skills, so something that could give us a plus in order to develop the players even better. So this is our first time here in Netherlands. We are very happy to be here. I am here and also our head of performance. So those 2 days that we had this week, it was amazing because when we start the partnership was supposed to be just with Ajax, right? Yeah. But now we are a group of clubs with the same intention. We would like to grow, and we have now got more people to talk, to discuss, and we starting a partnership. We became friends, and I see a lot of potential. So we are not just discussing things regarding youth development, scouting. We are also change some information regarding commercial things. So it's a real friendship. Everybody is looking to help each other in order to achieve their goals.
I think that's also where we've gone, if I may add, from first we were making partnerships to understand these other clubs, but we thought to ourselves, we must not be too Dutch about it, that we feel we know a lot, blah, blah, blah. We have so much to learn from other cultures, from other clubs, and putting all of this together is really a big step. And we've asked all the clubs and we do the analysis, we do some data analysis. What is it that you do well and how can we learn? If you look at the quality of the Japanese players that have been developed over the last decade and finding their way into European top football, it is something that we need to consider. The Japanese football market is doing something very, very well. It is for us to understand and to share this information. And like Neto said, it was you and me, let's say, but now it is us. Yeah. And he's also forgetting to say that we are exploring everything, also the city of Amsterdam, and how does it work in the inner city, and we invite our friends to the city as well.
It's a nice journey. You get your friends, get to see other cultures and how everyone works. I like it. Matt, how has your experience been since being in the Ajax network?
We just established this partnership in May this year.
Okay. Oh,
yeah,
very
just
fresh.
started, but already visited each other between Amsterdam and Osaka. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then discuss a lot and exchanging opinions. And we use this partnership a lot of area we can cooperate and exchange opinions and knowledge. But for instance, we can use the scouting strategy. This partnership we can use as a strategy. Yeah. For instance, this partnership makes Gamba Osaka more attractive. Then for the especially Japanese young players looking to play in Europe, so Ajax is a kind of window. Yeah, so that's sort of things also for us as very good things.
Okay, let's tell off the back of that comment there. It says makes his club look more attractive, being linked with Ajax and being in this community, shall we say. Everyone must have a different outcome of what they want from being a part of the network. So even though I know Corne and Lulu are part of the same club, what outcome are you, because it could be talent identification, which I know we've spoken about before. Is it the youth setup? Is it something they do in their league that you don't do here? What is the outcome that you want specifically, individually from this network?
I hope we will all have the same answer. So if I go first, maybe we can say I agree. No, it is our dream. So we all understand that let's say we take the benchmark of the European UEFA Champions League, we would consider the benchmark of the top in global football. So if we take that as a starting point, Ajax Amsterdam is ambitious to compete in the Champions League, in UEFA Champions League, and to compete on the highest level, quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. If we want to be there, we have to be, and I think Neto explained very well, we have to overperform. Because if we want to fight English, German, Spanish, any other club almost, we have to be finding a specific way to fight the bigger clubs on the result side. And we feel that the dream could be that if we play in a final of the Champions League in a few years' time, and it would be with a number of kids coming from Amsterdam, but also with one child from the Emirates, one or two Japanese players, a Brazilian player, that all have gone through a global education program. So if we know how to find the best program in the world, the best youth development program in the world, and we apply that to all of the children that are in our reach, we feel it's unmistakable that there will be top talent coming out of it. And if we all feel it would be good for us to have them play the Champions League final for Ajax in the Ajax shirt, and we also take pride in the fact that we've all played a role in the development of those players, it would be a fantastic dream. If you want to see me cry, you must come that day. That day is going to come. And I hope that we all, because it is also not, we are all not working for the Red Cross. We are also businesses. So if there's a player playing here in the Champions League final, and he is from Japan, I hope, like Mats just explained, I hope it will be a player that we scouted as a youth player, and he came to Gamba Osaka because he saw the opportunity for a great youth academy, but also for a window to come to Amsterdam. And then Gamba Osaka must also be paid one way or another for their effort in the network. It's not like we're saying, bring us your best players to Amsterdam and we'll see what we do. No, we're all together in this network. We must all benefit either way. So if you all agree that we have a Champions League final with kids from everywhere, then that's the common goal, I hope.
And Corne shed some tears and we'll be there to see.
Yeah.
No, amazing. It's very fascinating, this network club and what you guys are setting up. I think it's quite innovative. I don't know many people that are doing it. So like you said, you're probably one of the only ones doing it at the moment. Is there not a conflict of interest if you look at a club in the same league? Say if you get one club from each league around the world, is it only limited to one club? Because if you have, two clubs in the same league, how can you take and share advice if they're both supposed, because they could be competing against each other? Is there a cap on a club or two clubs in one league?
Yeah, basically we identify the scouting region, if that's the scouting purpose for talent identification and development. So we think, okay, which club in this region can help us cover this area. So for example, for Neto, it's not only Brazil, but also the other parts of South America, and for Gamba, sometimes we also think, because you also have Korean players, maybe they have better scouting knowledge in South Korea than we have. So it's not only per league, or we are looking per region, if the region's covered. Yeah.
If you want to make it as small as a country, yes, it's exclusive. One club in a country, and the best club in the country. So that's why we're here. Yeah, it's what we do, and I think that's also how it works, because we are. I like what you said. So we need to do something with it. Like it's an exclusive. What did you say?
Exclusive private members. It's like a members club.
Private members. Yeah, I like to be part of the club like that. So
so do I.
Yeah, we need to create some kind of key or logo that that you can only get in if you're a private member. Yeah. So it needs to be exclusive, and it needs to be very specific. It needs to be on a very friendly basis in which it is very open to share all the knowledge that you have. So that's not going to be a competitive system.
Is it very open when it comes to sharing as much information as possible? Do you have the same, principles when it comes to the women's game as well, within a club as well? Is that part of the network that you discuss in your...
Yes, it is. Yeah. Of course, culture does play a role in how open someone is. We are here now, it's the Dutch guy talking, and the gentleman from Japan is this is also who we are, and we don't have to change it. Yes, I have to change to be a little bit more quiet, but we respect each other's culture, so there is a very open and sharing. I don't find any secrets in our cooperation so far.
I want to ask you guys, Neto and Babis, sorry. Has there been any difficulties in joining the network from the above? Because from the above at your clubs, for instance, or has it been quite open with, you know, signing and joining the network when it comes with Ajax? Been any difficulties?
First of all, I think I mentioned that my club is government club. So this means that this agreement comes also from the government. So the priority is that the government and the people from Sports Council that belong to the club believe to this. So we try to fight for this, not with people from above, but people from down, to understand that culture or the change the culture is not so easy, how to think about football. So I'm happy because my, like we say, board believe to this. But again, I repeat it, we don't have owner like other clubs. The clubs in UAE belong to the government, it's Emirates, so we follow the direction from there. My point is how to influence all the department from the club. It's for media. Yesterday we saw an amazing video from Ajax, how to influence children, from Atletico also, how to see today also. They give us one great idea from Newcastle, how to take this idea to put it in our set. Yeah, because if you follow, you can take the ideas and to implement to your club. So I believe that from this connection is how to influence the people that around the club, especially parents, because they have different mentality.
What about you, Neto? Has there been any difficulties from above when joining the Ajax network?
So this is willing to have an international partner is a very special, strong will of our board of directors. So we are not a club of a government, we are not a private company, we are an association. So every single 4 years there is elections to define the new board. But since 1995, during almost 30 years, the same board led by Mario Petraglia is managing the club. So, and he's a brilliant administrator. He's always trying to innovate. So in 2018, we rebrand our logo. And our logo now is a little bit, it's too much different than it was. And there is 4 wins that we say, that are our core values. So our core values are always in our minds. Every time that we see the logo, we remember these core values. And one of them is the innovation. Yeah. So our club, as does not have so much money as the other ones, we always try to innovate, always. This is the way that we have been doing since '95. So it was a lot of other actions that we did during this time that give us some advantage in order to compete to the other clubs that has double, sometimes triple more revenue than us. And now we reached this agreement with Ajax that is very important because we do believe that this is going to give us the next level in terms of develop young players. So it's important to have someone that is doing very well for a very long time, walking with us. So this is what it was a wish of our president in the past. It was not so easy to finish the contract, you know, when the legals start to talk. Always we have something.
Man. All good friends, but when the legal people start to get involved, then difficult sometimes.
Yeah. I can imagine.
But all this conversation, what was very good because every party understand a little bit better regarding the program. So we are comfortable what we have agreed, and now it just depends on us to make it happen. So Ajax will be in Brazil other times, teach our coaches. That's also a very important role that they have with us. As Bob said, it's very really important. Educate the coaches as well, because then we'll give the players the tools to make the next level.
I'm hearing like a lot of lovely trips for you guys to travel, Brazil, Japan.
Yeah.
Definitely a private members club. Really good
You
one.
want to be?
Yeah, very good one.
Yeah.
Does it feel like the future, what you're doing with this network? Does it feel like this is something that I'm surprised not many people have, started before or really taken it to the next level? Because it feels like you're on the way to something really good. Do you feel like other clubs could potentially mimic this idea or have their own networks? Do you worry for that, or do you think it's a bit betters the game?
No, I think we are not worried about that because this trend is already started. I think the world is getting smaller, which is already a trend for decades. So everyone's closer to each other. And I know clubs are already working with international partners in different ways. And for us, it's just important we also combine everyone together and to gather everyone together to share not only the knowledge and similarity, but also the differences, especially when we are sitting all in the same room, like in the past 2 days. And then we see the difference in not only language, but culture and everything. But the thing connect us together is football. And I think that's the most important. And yeah, and it will be the trend in the world, so we are not really worried about that.
Yeah, there is a few examples, and I think you're right. I think many teams will carry on and start to build networks and communities. When it comes to deciding bringing in another club into your network, do the other partners have a say in it as well, or is it just Ajax's? Sorry, a tough question. Is it just Ajax's final decision? It goes, or do they hear about?
You've got good thinking, man. Yeah, it's not on the table. The question has not been on the table. We have just transformed, like we said, from a individual partnership model into a network model. So we're finding out. Yeah.
Okay. We've got about 5 minutes left, and I think this is a very fascinating topic. I think the network club is phenomenal what these people are doing here on the stage. So I'm going to open the floor in the last 5 minutes. Is there any questions from each club or each person representing their club? If you want to ask any questions, anyone want to have anything to ask? If not, all good. Yes, I'm going to come and join you, sir, and pass you the mic. Here you go.
Thanks, Cecil. I suppose it's a question for any of you that wish to answer. It's when you're dealing with such great cultural differences, and I worked with Japan with Recruit Group some years ago, how do you bridge those gaps if you're talking about the transfer of players? I know players have come, but I'm curious, when you take it from a child development stage, do you give cultural education early? Do you have international tournaments?
I think it's exactly where we're heading. So our philosophy is that kids, like we do in the Netherlands more and more, should stay as long as they can in their own environment. So it is a good example that if we would like to take a young kid from Brazil or Japan or the Emirates, the cultural differences will be enormous. So we feel it is our role altogether. So there is a common language, which is football. If we can have the best program and have it all the same, so that at least the football, when you go from the one place to the other, it is the same kind of coaching, the same kind of football, the same kind of exercises. That would be a big thing. After that, we also need to have talented kids go over to different places, understand what it is to be in a cold country or in a faraway or in a country that you don't understand the language. So the network offers tremendous possibilities for us to say, if we have a kid in Japan that might be good enough maybe to play for Ajax now, but what if we have the possibility to have him play in Gamba Osaka for 50 or 100 or 150 games in their first team before he comes to Amsterdam, which allows us for 1 or 2 seasons to work on his English skill abilities or to have him understand what life is like in Europe. So I believe we are opening the world to a lot of possibilities that will be far, far better for kids than to travel early. So we're offering a substantial growth model that's not going to hurt young people, it's going to benefit young people. One of the things that I think is going to be a future reference, how can we make sure that young players that have a certain talent, how can we protect that talent from all the other things happening? I think that network offers that opportunity.
And I have a few points to add, because during our communication with Japan, with not only Gamba Osaka, but also with J-League and the JFA, because we share the concerns. So JFA share the concerns with us, because they see nowadays a lot of high school Japanese talent players, they want to go to Europe directly from high school instead of playing J-League for a few years, like Corne said, getting mature and experienced and getting ready to come to Europe. They come really early without speaking English, without the ability of living by themselves. So it actually is not an optimal environment for them, for their development. And, but it's very hard for the National Football Association to influence that, because there are a lot of other agents or other interesting parties. And so when we introduce them, what our thought is, if it's very high talented, why not playing Gamba in J-League for certain games? And he basically proved himself, like, I'm the best in my position in J-League already. And then we think, and you also have maybe few trials in Europe, spend a few weeks in Amsterdam every year. And then you also know what is life in Europe, what you're gonna expect. Maybe they don't like the food, or whether they don't like the food anyways.
Who doesn't like who doesn't like Dutch food? Broodje kroket? Huh? No? Oh.
Maybe, but yeah, so they are more prepared to when they are coming over, and then I think it's better for to optimize the development.
That's a very, very good question. Thank you very much. Did you want to? No, all good. Any other? Thank you very much. We'll come and give the mic to you. Question.
I will ask em português. Ossi, boa tarde aí. Como representante brasileiro, queria perguntar para você se nós estamos muito distantes lá no Brasil desse processo aí de organização, de estruturação, que foi muito falado hoje nas palestras. E vendo você aí pelo Atlético Paranaense, pelo pouco que a gente conhece, eu sou do norte do país, eu queria ver com você se, de fato, nós estamos próximos, estamos muito distantes, se é uma utopia alcançarmos o sistema organizacional e gerencial dos europeus, por exemplo.
Sim.
Pode responder em inglês, por favor.
So just to everybody who doesn't understand Portuguese, basically he questioned if we in Brazil, we are far away from what Ajax is doing here in Europe. I wouldn't say that we are far. Atlético is a club very organized in Brazil. If it wasn't organized, we were not be in the moment that we are right now. So we have a lot of achievements outside the field, but also inside, a lot of championships. And the most part of those championships we won with many players from our academy. So we are doing well. There are a lot of projects in Brazil that are doing well. But we know that in terms of Europe, Ajax is doing a fantastic job for a very long time. So for sure there are things to learn. And when we are in this position that we are looking for acknowledgement, it's very good, because sometimes we don't give the next step because we believe that we know everything, and it's not. So we are open to understand what they do, not only with the player, but also with the coaches, because we know that the coach challenge in Brazil is another very important thing. Sometimes the coach, he don't want to stay in the same age category because he wants to go to the higher one, not because he wants to, he prefers to work in that category, but he wants more money. So we need to understand the whole picture. If Ajax here used to keep their coaches inside the age category, that they have more impact. So there are a lot of things that we will return to Brazil to spread the news with our friends. And for sure, we would like to improve a lot our way that we are doing it right now.
Thank you very much. We are coming to the end, or we come to the end of this panel discussion. Please join me in a round of applause to my panelists on the stage. Thank you very much.